Welcome to Ari's Kitchen. So I'm actually going to be trying this new recipe. We're going to be doing stuffed ground turkey and a sweet potato. I personally love sweet potatoes. The recipe that I found said supposedly it's like super fast, 20 minutes only, so we're going to try it out. It says that you need 2 like medium to large size sweet potatoes. These I just found at the grocery store. You don't have to peel them, but you want to make holes in them because we're gonna cook them in the microwave super fast. Because if you try to do it in the oven, it can take you like at least an hour. That's actually why I bought my pressure cooker, was because I can throw sweet potatoes like this in the pressure cooker and then I can mash them in 8 minutes, which is amazing because for any of you that cook potatoes know they take forever. So just, kind of poke it with a fork. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. But yeah, so hopefully this is good. I usually eat the same kind of stuff all the time, like mostly chicken. I used to eat chicken breast all the time. Like I would just have chicken breast and veggies. And then I started cooking with darker meat, so like thighs and drumsticks, and I found that I like that a lot better. I know that ground, or turkey breast is way like healthier for you, but taste-wise, I feel like the calorie count didn't really make that much of a difference for me, personally. So you're gonna throw them in the microwave, and it says you wanna do like 5 to 6 minutes on each side. I'm probably gonna put them on a plate because they'll probably get dirty in the microwave. I'm sure you guys have noticed that I always use paper plates because I need to get new plates, number 1 and number 2. I'm lazy. I don't want to wash dishes. So, throw them in. I'm going to set it to 5 minutes. And then I'll come back and I'll flip them. Okay, so the potatoes are out of the microwave. I did feel them. They feel like they're soft enough. So what we're going to do now is we're going to cut them in half. So then they look like this. You're gonna do that for all 2 of your potatoes. I'm actually pretty excited about this because I love like any kind of a potato. I do not discriminate. I have yet to meet a potato that I don't love. So this is exciting. And so now we're supposed to scoop out. This will be the true test to see if I actually cooked them right. They should like come out easily. It's okay, right? And you just stick it in a bowl. Sorry. So for me, I feel like healthy eating has kind of always been something that's been relatively like natural to me for the most part. And I say that because like, don't get me wrong, like me, I love desserts. Like I'm not crazy about like fried food. I'm not crazy about like fast food or anything like that. Like I genuinely am a really boring eater. I would be super happy with just like chicken and vegetables because I guess like, I don't know, is there something wrong with me? But yeah, I genuinely really love veggies. I think they're freaking delicious. I can eat them any which way. So it's been relatively easy for me to stay healthy for the most part, with the exception of desserts, because I have such a huge sweet tooth. And like I always tell you guys, like, oh, it's all about balance, it's all about balance. And it's true, because once I'm done making these potatoes, I have had these bananas that have been sitting in my kitchen for a hot second, and it's time to make some banana bread. And I'm not making like a healthy banana bread either. Like it's gonna be like the real banana bread with like, real sugar. I think there's butter in there or oil. I'm not sure. I don't remember. I have like a recipe somewhere I got from my mom. So what do you guys normally eat? Like, what kind of stuff do you find is like the hardest for you guys? Like, is it, you know, you don't have the time to prepare? Because I feel like that's most people's biggest problem, is that you don't make the time to prep your meals in advance. It's so easy to be like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I have like a million things to do. I'm just gonna go pick up a pizza, or I'm just gonna go pick up, you know, McDonald's or whatever that might be, right? So I totally get it, especially for any parents out there that have kids and don't like have the time to just cook healthy all the time. So now we're going to mash them just with a fork, and we're gonna add some ingredients or some spices to it. I hope this video isn't like super weird, because I've never done this before. And I know kind of you guys have been asking me like, oh, you know, what kind of stuff do you eat? Like, give me ideas. So here we are. And don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna be like, everybody's been asking me, because it hasn't really been that many people, but I figure, you know, you can always learn. Like, I love new recipes. Okay, so you mash it. And then we have in here is a combination of cumin, salt, and pepper, ground pepper. So you just sprinkle that in there. And then it said it wanted olive oil, and honestly, I don't remember how much, but lo voy a tantear, a ver. See, so just put a little bit. That looks good. I love cumin. You know, like, I'm Mexican, like, I love our type of food, Mexican food. We put a lot of cumin in a lot of different things, and I think it's marvelous. It smells freaking great. So we're just gonna mash this up, and we're gonna put it right back into the little sweet potato boats. You mash it as much as you can and try to get as many of the bumps or like little things out. So now it looks like this. Go back to the spoon it back in to its respective little boat. Okay. Wow, looks pretty good. And then after this, we're gonna cook the ground turkey that's supposed to go on top of it. Love ground turkey. Kind of like made the switch from ground beef to ground turkey a couple of years ago. And that's all I buy now. Unless I'm gonna make like a real burger, because turkey burgers are great, don't get me wrong, they're good. But you can't really beat a real cheeseburger, unless you're vegan, of course, then. And if you are, I love the Incredible burgers, or the Beyond Burger, there you go, Beyond Meat, pretty good. I mean, it's pretty close to the real thing without actually being the real thing, so I think that's kind of cool. All right, so here we are, have our potatoes stuffed. Looks pretty good, I think. So now we have our little boats. And now we're gonna cook the turkey meat. Okay, so now we're gonna cook the ground turkey. So the recipe actually only calls for you to use 3/4 of a pound, which wouldn't be like, it leaves like a really small, weird amount of ground turkey. So I figured I'm just gonna cook all of it, because what am I gonna do with like a tiny little chunk of meat left over? So to use like cooking spray, I don't have any, so I'm just gonna use some olive oil, which works fine. Throw it in there. I love wooden spoons. They're my favorite. It's just way easier to like break up the meat, you know? So we're gonna go ahead and salt it. And then mix it. You know, usually when I eat sweet potatoes, I don't make them into like something savory like this. For the most part, I just eat them plain. Like I'll boil them or I'll steam them or whatever in my little duo pot pressure cooker thing, and then mash them like mashed sweet potatoes, or I'll put them in the oven and cook them. And sometimes if I want like a little bit of like a healthy dessert, then I'll add like some cinnamon to it, and it tastes pretty good. But I've never tried it with like meat, you know, and like cumin, so I know it's definitely gonna be like a different taste. So what we're gonna add in here now is oregano, cumin, salt, we salted, and then some pepper. And then it actually called for like chili powder, but I didn't have any, so I used a little bit of cayenne. I know that's like spicy, but didn't use too much. So, and then I'll list like what the actual ingredients are, like how much of what I'm putting in, just so you guys know. But yeah, I can't like really stress enough about the balance thing. Like I feel like if you eat relatively healthy most of the time, so like the 80-20 rule is like 80%. Well, actually that's not true. The 80-20 is like eat 80% like healthy. It's like 80% of your diet and then 20% in the gym. But I mean, like you should probably eat healthy 80% of the time, and then, you know, if you eat unhealthy, it's not that big of a deal. You know, it's kind of hard when, you know, like I was saying earlier, we have so much going on, and then if there's any kind of like a gathering, for the most part, you don't go to any sort of a party and see a bunch of like meal prepping options. You find, you know, hot dogs, hamburgers, carne asada, tortillas, like all kinds of stuff that isn't necessarily like the best for you, but in moderation, it's totally fine. And then you can still have like everything that you want, right? So now I'm gonna put some pepper almost out of this. And then it asks for 4 minced pieces of garlic, so 4 garlic cloves. This is like 3 because I had some pretty large pieces and I didn't want to do 4. I figured 3 was going to be good enough. So I'm going to wait a little bit to put that in there just because I don't want the meat to burn. And then it's 1.25 cups of crushed canned tomatoes. So go ahead and throw in the garlic. The recipe also calls for cheese, so it wants you to like get some pepper jack cheese and grate it finely, and then you're gonna put it on top of the little potato boat. Then you broil it. I'm not really crazy, like I like cheese, but I'm not like crazy about it. Like I don't really put it on my omelets ever. I don't put it on my eggs. So I didn't buy the cheese in anticipation of this will probably taste just fine without it. I do have some, and I'll probably put like some mixed like type of cheese on one of the boats. See if it tastes good or not. We'll see. Smells good. So we'll broil it anyway. So all I have is like shredded cheeses, Monterey Jack, mild cheddar, queso quesadilla, and asado cheeses. So we're gonna try that. We'll see if it's good. I don't know. Okay, here we go. Ooh. So I think like if you wanted to just eat this for dinner, you totally could. And then if you wanted to do it as a meal prep, I think it would be really nice, like with I guess well, maybe some vegetables, I would say, because you have, you know, your protein and you have your carb. So like maybe some green beans. I love green beans. Some broccoli, cauliflower, asparagus, like whatever you like, whatever your thing is. All right. So I'm gonna throw some cheese. Throw some cheese on like 2 of them. Why not? So we're only going to put it in the oven to broil until the cheese melts. So I think it's like 30 seconds or something like that. Let's try it out and see. All right. I left them there probably about like a minute or so. So I'll give them 30 seconds. They look nice. And then you garnish with a little bit of parsley. Wow, I feel so professional. You know, this actually was pretty fast and relatively easy. So now is the real test. Is it good though? Let's see, how are we gonna, what am I gonna get to move? Maybe a spatula? So this is the finished product. Looks pretty good. Let's try it. Bite. You know, it's good. It's like it's savory. You know, you have like the potato. You can definitely taste the cumin, the ground turkey. It's got some really great flavor. All right, totally recommend. I like it. You guys try it out and let me know. I hope the video wasn't too long. I did my best. It was my first one.